Hey, welcome everybody to our BRISnet pick of the day, play of the day here with myself, Freddie Bro York, and my partner. What's up, Johnny Costin?
What's up, Freddie?
Oh man, what a beautiful day it is today. I should be doing this podcast outside somewhere. It's freaking.
Yeah, I know. I just left Mercer Oaks and the course is jammed. People all over the place, cooped up all winter. They couldn't wait to get outside yesterday and today.
Well, on Monday's show, as you made a comment, I was at the driving range, summoned, and your words were pretty accurate, John. Summoned to the driving range because they needed. Oh my God, that guy, my son came by, like just to say hi and hang out for a while, like around 5:30, 6 o'clock, because we were running out of balls, and we couldn't go pick them up because when you pick them up, you got to clean them, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And there was 15 boxes of new range balls upstairs. So I had to go up a flight of steps and carry one box at a time. Well, the first box I carried down, I said, Alex, you can carry the next 10 boxes down because I ain't doing it.
Yeah. Good that he was there.
Well, you know, right? You know, box of range balls.
Oh, I know boxes of balls. I know exactly what boxes you're talking about.
So anyway, so that was pretty crazy. But on another note, John, talk to me a little bit about what happened with J.K. Strong.
Pretty crazy. I got a call today and from our trainer saying, congratulations. You're the proud owner of first place finishing horse officially. What are you talking about? The horse that beat us the other day, who we missed one length of possibly beating, failed the drug test. So they disqualified him from purse money, moved us up for first place purse money.
Oh my God. That's great, John.
Crazy.
I mean, crazy stuff, yes, but at least, you know what? It shows the transparency that still exists in horse racing, right? I mean, they tested the horse failed, and they avoided the first place. Most importantly, first place purse money, correct?
First place purse money. It's 12,600 compared to 4,200.
That's a big difference. That's a big difference.
Difference.
I'm not really good at math, as some people may know, but that's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can qualify that. Any word on possibly now when she's going to race again? What does that do to her conditions? Did she meet the condition of the, you know?
Well, that's the thing. Until it's like officially done, if the trainer can test it, it might, drag on for a little bit, and they'll hold the difference in purse money that we're waiting on in the account until it's finalized. So officially, we would still be considered a maiden. We're entering today for next Tuesday, a maiden race.
Oh.
So we could actually have a horse that breaks his maiden twice. I've never seen that before.
But you crossed the line in second, so will you technically still be a maiden?
No, we'd be considered, even though we'd have we'd have a win on the program first because we got, moved up to first. But we would fall out of that maiden category because we're not a maiden once they make it official. But if it's not official by next Tuesday before we run, in their eyes, we're still a maiden until this gets sorted out.
Okay. Let's back up 1 second. Next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, is St. Patrick's Day.
It is. Yes.
Oh my God, I'm off.
Oh my God, yeah. If we run next Tuesday, that would be the craziest story if she can run Tuesday and win, and then this race goes official after that. Break her maiden 2 times. I've never seen a horse break their maiden twice. J.K.
Strong could be making history.
I'm going to look that up and see, how often this happened, but it's a pretty neat, fun story now.
How interesting is that? A horse that broke her maiden twice. B, racing on St. Patrick's Day. Oh boy. Okay, well let's hope. Okay, let's keep an eye on that. That's a big story that we'll continue to follow on all the rest of our podcasts. And let's do a couple housekeeping things before we get to our Bro and JK play of the day. We want to sponsor or thank our sponsors, Cases Pork Roll once again, Vape Shop on Route 33. They've been with us since the very beginning. 2 of our good buddies from the Hibernian Club. Speaking of this Saturday with the parade and next Tuesday with St. Patrick's Day, the club, as they say, the club will be jumping. I want to thank those 2 very much. They're 2 great people, Tommy Dolan and Alicia Pisa. Also, BRISnet.com, the handicapper's edge, and trust me, they are an edge. If you go to their site, check out what information they offer. It's a lot different and a lot the value there in terms of what kind of things you get. I love the prime power. John knows that. speed, some percentages, and I'm going to particularly bring up a percentage today on a couple horses in the races. The race that John and I like, I'm going to put that up right now for our pick of the day. These are our races. But let's talk about the shows coming up, because we got a couple things going on. Friday's show will still be 3 p.m., our happy hour, but it's going to probably be a little bit longer than an hour, because we're going to break down the 2 Derby prep races coming up. Actually, one's a Derby prep race, one's an Oaks prep race at Colonial Downs on Saturday. There's the Oaks Derby. Colonial Downs has the Oaks Derby there, and has the Virginia Oaks and the Virginia Derby, both being run at Colonial Downs on Saturday. So on Friday, we'll cover the late pick 5 from Colonial Downs with myself and John, talking about those 2 races, along with the other 5 races that are part of the late pick 5. Then on Saturday, John will be on at 11:30, as I will be directing traffic at the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Good for me. When I say directing traffic, I mean putting in place our people who are kind enough to come out, and the vendors, the floats, the marching bands, the pipe bands, etc. It's a great day, but I'll be there directing traffic on where those people have to go with a bunch of other marshals from St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, Planning Board that help out with that. So John will be on 11:30 just to cover any changes in those 2 races, give a little update. Is that pretty accurate, John?
Yeah, that sounds right. We'll do all the heavy lifting on Friday and break down the late pick 5 at Colonial, which is pretty nice. I printed it all out, so I'll get to my work starting tonight on that, which looked pretty good. So we'll cover the late pick 5 on Friday, and then a little housekeeping chores on Saturday morning, just to tie up any loose ends of any key scratches.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I think we really like our show on Saturday, and why we're going to do it, even if it is going to be a little bit shorter, is because of the scratches can make a speed horse that was in, and again, I talk about speed horses, but it happens often. A speed horse that's in a race where there's 3 other speed horses, 2 of them get scratched, and there's only a lone speed horse that can be big, or a prime power number gets scratched. And something like that can make a big difference, I think, in why we change, or at least discuss possible changes of our picks on Saturday, John. I think that's a good point, John.
Yep.
Okay, so let's jump into your race first, John. JK's play of the day. Come Forks, race 5. John, you're up. Let's hear what we got, brother.
Yeah, race 5 coming up. The race 4 just went off, and I just looked at some of the probables. I got an 8-1 shot that I like. I think he woke up last time in this class level. And let me see here, the probables. I think he's going to get a little bit of action going into next race. We'll see the opening odds. I'm not expecting to get 8-1. I'm sure we'll get somewhere in the odds of 4 or 5-1. But they scratched the second choice on the rail. That was JT Service, my trainer, his horse. They scratched him, so it's going to lower his odds for sure. The favorite will be the 2. But then there's about 5 or 6 of them that are going to be vying for second, third choice. Pretty much wide open race. I just think last week, he did wake up, and if he could just put back-to-back races together, I think the 8-1 is nice in this same class level, same distance. It took him a while to come around, but if that was the light bulb last week, he could get the job done at a nice square 8-1 morning line. Hopefully get 5-1.
So 5-1 would be a fair odds that you would be comfortable with still betting on the horse.
I'd even say like 4-1. I would even go down to 4-1.
How many scratches were there?
Oh, actually, he just opened up 2-1 favorite. He just opened up.
No way.
8-1, 2-1, because the favorite was scratched. But Will pays.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened the other day when my pick of the day I give it out. It's 9-2, and I didn't think nowhere near it'd be a favorite, but then it goes off and at 4-5. It pays 380. I mean, I did not expect that. I expected if it came down 2-1 maybe, but not 4-5.
Well, that was like one day we had a daily double play where the horse I liked, who has no forget the jockey's last name, the apprentice jockey, gets a 10-pound weight apprentice. The horse just had trouble. The jockey could not keep the horse straight. And that horse was picked probably third choice in some handicapping venues. But that didn't work out. But today's going to work out. First of all, John's pick again, race 5 coming up pretty soon. I have a race 7, optional claiming 16,000, a mile and 70 yards on the dirt at Parks as well. I like the number 8, Nograti. We'll get to that horse in a minute because I do want to talk about the number 1 horse, which has Mikel Sanchez and trained by Michael Pino. Blinkers on, 43% with blinkers back on. I want this horse to take some money because I really think the horse I like is going to basically definitely, I'd be shocked if the odds don't go up from 5-2 to 4-1 or even 3-1. I'll take that, something in that neighborhood just because of the connections of Mikel Sanchez, and Michael Pino. And he's a number 3 prime power. Hard to believe. But blinkers back on is not blinkers on, blinkers back on is a percentage that you get from BRISnet. 44%, 43% is pretty high. Yes, I am betting against that horse because I'm looking for a little more value. Also, the number 8, Nograti, like I said, is number 1 prime power, and that wins quite a bit. I think that horse, last 2 times, prior to racing at Laurel, was racing overseas, racing a lot of synthetic and turf racing, came to try turf at Laurel, first 3 races out, didn't really win. Put the horse on dirt. Last time out Laurel, won by 16. 8 horses in the race. Last race, won by 8. 7 horses in the race. Martin John's still on the horse for Kerry Brian, a good trainer. What I find interesting about this horse is I don't see it very often. Makes me like the horse even more than some of the points I already made. The early pace figure that the Timeform US Pace gives and the late pace figure are almost the same. And they're both near the highest in the field. So this horse can have tactical speed and get out and stay in front. Doesn't need to lead for sure. You could see it wins from off the pace, but it's not going to be behind. This horse will not be having to come from far behind. I mean, the first time that he won by 16, he was, 4 lengths back and closed and won by 16. The second time he won, he was 1 1/4, 2.5 back and won by 8. I just think the horse is going to be a little bit, I don't want to say forgotten, but because of the connections on number 1. Now, John, how do you feel about that? You're a Parks guy more so than myself, so to speak. Mikel Sanchez, Michael Pino, 7-2 morning line. They're not the favorite. The 8's the favorite. Do you think that'll stay?
I think they're going to be co-favorites. I think they're both going to go off. The 1 and the 8 are going to go off about the same odds. I think around 8-5, 9-5, both horses. Neither one will be, even money, and one will be 2-1. I think they're going to be really close to each other. Okay.
I can't disagree with you there. I'm hoping that that's not the case. I just am surprised that that horse wasn't 8-5 to begin with.
If they take all that money, if Pino and Sanchez are 4-5, the connections, if they take all that extra money into a horse like the 8, got to watch out. I mean, they're pretty live. I mean, people know when their horses are live, and they usually come through. So you don't want to see that horse getting pounded at the windows because, I would think he'd be more live than the 8. What you want is both of them to be, about the same odds because the connections of the 1 just took that connection money. But if they're really hammering them with the connections and the stable betting, then, it's going to be even money odds on. And I would think that would lessen the chances of the 8 if they think the 1 is that good. But if they're both about the same, then I think that's what we're hoping for, both about, 9-5.
Well, I'll take 9-5 because I just think this horse is a good horse. And like I said, came from overseas racing exclusively on turf. Tried turf down at Laurel for the first 3 races in North America. Didn't do too well. Finally broke the maiden. That was the first time broke the maiden claiming race at Laurel. Again, won by 16. Okay, now Parks optional claiming right now. Optional claiming 16. I don't know if any horses. Well, again, Buyer speed figure. I think 81. The Buyer speed figure par for this race is 74. And the last time out at Parks, the first time at Parks, that horse Buyer speed figure was 81. Quite frankly, that towers over the 1. Again, I know Buyer speed figures, they mean a lot to some people, don't mean a lot to other people. But that's a pretty big difference, John, I think. When this horse has tried dirt only 2 times, he could go up from 81 and go up to 85.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Yeah, it should be between them two. That race comes down to them two. So hopefully the trip works out. And then anybody wants to try to hook up our 2 picks again, you could play a $7 bet, a $1 pick 3. Start with the 4 in this race, hit the all button in the middle, and end it with Fred's 8. So a $7 bet, you could play 4 with 8 on a dollar pick 3 and see if we could catch.
I love that. 4 all 8, $1 pick 3 costs you $7.
$7. See if we could catch. We just missed a double the other day, so let's see if we can connect on a pick 3 with bookending our 2 picks.
Okay, well, what's the morning line, or what's the current line right now on your horse?
8-5. 8-1, 8-5 now.
Well, don't get me wrong; it's a lot lower than the 8-1 morning line, but I do like that play. Just touted 4 with all with 8 for $7. Yep. And who knows what you're going to catch in that 6th race? You might want to catch a little. I'll use one of our terms, chaos, John.
Yep, we need some chaos.
I like that bet. I'm going to throw that in too. So hey, there's our picks, folks. We happy. Thank you for checking in with us. Don't forget again on Saturday, we're going to have a special time, 11:30. But more importantly, join us Friday at 3:00 for our happy hour. We're going to break down the Colonial Downs late pick 5, which includes the Virginia Oaks, 50 points for an Oaks prep race, and the Virginia Derby, 50 points for the Kentucky Derby. After this week, John, after this weekend, I should say, all the Derby prep races are 100 points. So this really
all the big ones
are coming up, and you're going to start seeing the leaderboard in terms of points shaping up to where you're going to be able to take a stand on some horses. My horse I'm really looking forward to seeing is Nearly. I want to see that horse run at the end of the month and see how the horse does. I hope it wins. I want to see that horse win again, look impressive in a big field, and that's going to be my Derby pick. If the horse comes out of race sound and looks good, even if the horse loses, I don't know who the horse is going to be up against, but we'll see. And John, who are you leaning on now in the Derby? You got the horse you're leaning on at the moment. You're still waiting. I know it's early for you. You like to wait, but
I think right now I'm curious to see Nearly. Nearly's going to have to prove it again to me that he can do what he did last time and look so impressive. Paladin, wherever he comes back, whether he's going to Bluegrass or
he's number really 1 right now.
Where they're going to go next start. Right now, the 2 coming out of the Fountain of Youth, I think both of them, they're Commandment, who won the race, and the lightly raced Chief Wallaby, who did all the harder work and ran 26 extra feet and got beat a half a nose at the end. So more seasoning for that horse. Another prep race, maybe the Florida Derby, and then on to the Derby. I think Chief Wallaby would be my my pick right now with where he's progressing in his career. And Commandment has done nothing wrong.
That's a lot of upside. Absolutely.
Yeah. But there's a bunch of them. I think the favorite for the Derby, could be 7-2, 9-2, 5-1. Could be the favorite this year. There's no 3-1 or less horses. I doubt it.
That sounds very interesting as we approach Kentucky Derby, the first Saturday in May. We'll also keep an eye on the first Friday in May. So, John, before we close out, any final words, any final thoughts, other than how much time for your race?
We got 12 minutes, so we're going to, put it on, hopefully get through the first leg. And if we do, then we know we got the middle leg locked in.
I love it.
Down to the last one.
As soon as we check out here, we'll say goodbye. I'll be putting the bet in myself, too. I might even do it for $2. I might even do it for $3. I'm going to go crazy.
You got to slow down, Fred. Slow down.
Anyway, all right, Jeff. So listen, I want to take a minute again to thank our sponsors. Once again, the Case's Pork Roll, one of the best there is. There is no other pork roll, quite frankly, other than Case's Pork Roll. Also, the Vape Shop, on Route 33 in Hamilton for all your vaping supply needs. And our big sponsor, I want to thank them, BRISnet.com, the handicapper's edge. You certainly do get an edge from there. They are the best. Find their information on BRISnet.com. You won't be sorry if you go there and check them out. So on that note, we'll say bet smart, cheer hard, fast horses can equal serious fun. And don't forget, just like we always say, right, John, let it run.
Let it run, everybody.
All right.